What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games. I've been waiting for this one. I'm ready. All we've ever had are demos and snippets of this game, and now finally the developers have fired over the early access version. I've spent about the last 2.5 hours playing it. I spent about 2 hours of it on the campaign, and then I played around with the skirmish so that I could cover my bases and give you my first impressions as to whether or not this is one of those games that deserves a coveted spot on your wish list. If after watching this you wanted to get Calyx for yourself, it comes out on the 29th in early access. You can check it out then. And then, of course, you can also find a bunch of other Nerd Castle links down below, just in case you wanted to give those an extra saucy click. Medium, mild, fuerte, whatever type of sauce you want to throw on there, that's perfect. I switch it up every single day just to keep some variety. You know, variety's the spice of life. Apparently, it's also the sauce of life. But today, I think what we're going to do is I'm going to play a skirmish today with everything enabled. That way, you get the biggest slice of gameplay you can possibly see, because the campaign after 2 hours, I'm like 7 missions in, but it's a slow burner. Like, every single mission is going to unlock 1 or 2 more things, and after 2 hours, I'm nowhere near unlocking everything. But after we finish the skirmish, I'll come back out to the menu and I'll show you my campaign in progress so that you can see all the different parts that comprise it. Okay, let's do a skirmish. So I don't know exactly which one I want to do. It's going to give you a preview of each of these. Let me fish around and see what I can find, like what I like the best, and then we'll run it. This looks suitably chaotic right here. I actually kind of dig this because there's a new faction inside the game that you haven't seen. There's a number of different Calyxes. I don't know if that's how you pluralize an alien life form. Calii? I'm not really sure if they go for the Latin root, but this kind of looks interesting. If it'll let me build up in this top right-hand corner, I think it could make for a very interesting playthrough because we'll share a border with the mechanized enemy, which are like AI robots that have gone rogue and are trying to take over the planet, as well as all the various different types of aliens that are doing the same thing. This might be kind of interesting, so I figure we'll give this a go. Let's dive into it. Alright, so I think I know exactly what corner I want to live inside of. Do they have a gate over here, though? Like, are they going to be able to come out and attack me? They will definitely be able to come out and attack me. So this is going to get a little spicy on the front end of this fight, because we are nuts to butts right now with a hostile force that wants us murdered. Okay, well, this is where I'm going to start out, over in this corner. We're going to try to make a push to maybe lock off this little bit. We don't really have any isotopes available that we could play around with for right now, but I think we should be okay so long as we get in over here. Now, in Calyx, the general idea is that you work for a corporation called Avarice. Avarice is, there's no satire here. That's the name of the corporation that you work for. I don't know who takes a job for a company called Avarice Incorporated. I'm sure there's somebody out there that would, but to me, it's an eyebrow raiser. They are trying to colonize a planet, and unfortunately, there's very hostile plant life in this game that's going to slowly creep out. And this game sort of answers the question, what would StarCraft be like if StarCraft, you were just dealing with the creep, and the creep didn't really have units or anything else, but the creep consumed everything that it came into contact with? If you mix that with, like, so you take something like Creeper World, StarCraft, if the Zerg only had creep, and maybe a little bit of Power Wash Simulator in there too, because there is a very satisfying way you can kind of chain reaction and get rid of this carpet that's spreading that's oh so satisfying as you get further on into the game. But that's the general premise. We're going to start out with some units. I'm going to see if I can send them all out here. Oh no, my little ranger is trapped, dude. I'm going to see if I can send my units out right over there, and that should work out. And really the first thing that we need to accomplish is that we need to get our infrastructure up and running, and we need to do it rapidly. So the power grid's going to be the first most important thing that I think we want to get bumping. We're also going to want to set up some kind of defensive perimeter. Probably right here would be a really good idea, so I wouldn't be against running power lines down this way, just in preparation for what needs to happen down here. But I also don't want to overspend when it comes to defending my territory. It's probably going to take this a little while to get to us, so I don't know if I want to spend any more money on Power Grid just yet, because the way that you generate currency in this game is kind of a tug-of-war push-pull between the crystals that you're mining for industry and how many of them you need to build defenses and units, and how many you need to send off-world in order to trade into credits for other various upgrades and unlocks. Now that we've got those in play, the next thing that we're really going to want is we're going to need a refinery. Without a refinery, our entire economy does not work. So I'll plop down a refinery right there. We've already got got ourselves a harvester on that side. He's gonna go up and scoop our little Tiberium crystals, you know, with the full yes sir energy. He's gonna do his best to drop them back off at the refinery. And I think I may run, like, what's the range on these right here? One thing I really like about this game is they give you concrete ranges for everything that the enemy has. That way you can't really screw up unless you're super not paying attention. I'm going to drop that off right there. Maybe put... You know, I need to extend out really rapidly, but I'm a little bit nervous about doing it. I can probably get away with this right here. And that should do it for infrastructure. He's already mining. I'm going to build myself a second harvester. Pretty much all of the crystals that we have as of right now are going to go... Are they going to start spitting out units like Hyper Rapid? They may. They're also going to level up over time, and they're going to be upgrading their tech tree and bombing us out and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So who knows how this is really going to play in the long term. With the little tiny scraps of money I have left, I'm going to put in one solar panel because we do have to manage a power grid in this game. And then finally, we're going to need a rocket. It's going to send all of the minerals off-world that we're harvesting from this field over here, and I would love to trap that field too, just to solidify my overall economy for the remainder of the playthrough. The little trucks are animated. They do fill up with crystals, and when they go back to base, they'll drop them off. We can choose how many we want to send off-world in order to get paid credits, but for now, we just kind of need to stack up some crystals, otherwise things are going to get a little bit ugly. This guy is definitely going to be the foremost threat, so I'm going to line my army up on this side, just in case they try to do an early game rush, because I think they very well just might. I'm also going to turn off the motion blur because motion blur is doggy doo-doo and I don't know why they put it in video games. Everyone I've ever talked to hates it. Like, it's really only used on consoles to smooth out, like, inferior frame rates is my understanding of why it exists, but I don't know, I forgot to disable it this time. The real shocker is that I've been playing video games for 2.5 hours without noticing that motion blur was on, but I was focused on the job. I was trying to get it done. I need to decide... I mean, I guess I'll dedicate some crystals to a defense grid for right now, just to protect me from whatever push these idiots may try to pull off. Like, I just need to have turrets and guns over here ready to bucket these guys if they decide to sally out super hard and try to take me out. I may put in some walls and stuff too, but that's going to cost me a lot of crystals, and I'd rather wait. Our first rocket is out. We should get paid about 100 credits in just a second, but you may have noticed that we're having a little bit of a problem with throughput. Just like in Command & Conquer, we've got our little boats right here. They're waiting to drop off their crystals, and I don't like that. I like them to be on a clean rotation. Down here, I'm going to keep an eye on how that Calyx is spreading and how that Calyx is spreading. And one of the interesting things about the strategy in this game is that when you have these corrupted drones on the field, one of your major strategies is actually figuring out ways that you can funnel the Calyx towards him so that it becomes his problem, not your problem. And that's exactly what I'm going to try to do here today. Now, it looks like they're all coming out of the east gate on this side. This is going to get a little bit hairy. The early game rush is absolutely on, and so unfortunately, we're just going to have to deal with that as it goes. Maybe another gun or two. It's going to take them a second to get here, but I'm going to set up for the fight right here, and hopefully we have the wherewithal to withstand this first push, because if we don't, it's going to really, really hurt. Now, the good news here is it looks like they're a little bit spread out by comparison to our units, which are lumped up, so I'm hoping that as these guns start firing and we start putting some oomph on them, yeah, there you go. That's the stuff. Light them up. Get the big tank right there. Get him first. I don't want any of this to go down. Perfect. Stack them up high, boys. Leave them burning like firewood. That's what I'm talking about. Ain't no enemy tanks gonna rock up inside of here. I got my Splatino wall ready to stop them right where they're at. We got rockets going out. We got a little bit more money to play around with right now. The game does actively have push pause, so you can use that whenever you would like to do so, just in case you're the kind of person that likes to think things through. I always appreciate push pause because I'm not as spry as I used to be, all right? I am no longer the fresh-faced 24-year-old that started this channel. I am now old, all right? That's the truth of the matter. I could try to sugarcoat it a little bit, but the fact is I'm old, all right? And I just can't play as fast as I used to back when I was choking people out in StarCraft. For now, though, I think a secondary refinery might not be a terrible idea. Like, if we could get that lined up, like, right there, we won't really have to build any more stuff in order to support it. I am going to pay 15 crystals to fix that right there, and with our power grid going back up, it's going to buy us a little bit of time. Now, as the Calyx gets closer, I am going to fortify this wall, put in some guns. I'm probably going to put a wall right there, put in some guns. I haven't decided which enemy I'm going to deal with first, but we are going to have to pick somebody to go after. Now, you may have noticed at the top of the screen, there is a timeline. Stuff is going to happen as you're playing this game, and it's going to be a headache. So this right here is a solar storm. We get extra power, but the Calyx grows faster because they're using the old photosynthesis in order to grow. There's other things like dust storms, which clog up your solar panels and make your power grid die on you. There are a number of things that will complicate the situation. I'm going to add one more harvester, I think, just to make sure that we're still converting things at a rate that I find to be acceptable, but we are stacking up crystals at a decent rate right now, which I'm happy for. Later on, we'll probably add another launch pad just to make sure that we're converting crystals fast enough into money, but at the moment, I actually think we're in a really good spot, so let me build my wall real fast. Wall building in this game, pretty simple, not that difficult. Everything sticks together exactly how you would like it to stick together. What did that cost me to have those built right there? Also, can I put in, yeah, let me just put in a gate right there. So later on when I'm deciding to attack the enemy, I can move out of my own territory and cause trouble. Like, we can raise a little mayhem. I think with the extra money that I have on hand, I'd also like to start extending the power grid over this way. That way we have lots of buildable space as the game gets more complicated. Because trust me, it's gonna get more complicated, but for the moment we seem to be in decent shape. Once we get a little bit more cash into our stash, I think I'm gonna make a dash in order to make a few more little tanks so that I have like a first action reaction team that can adapt to anything that comes around. But for the moment, we sit and wait. Actually, it looks like they're trying to pull off a gangster little flash attack on me down in here. So I'm going to have to spend some crystals to get some defensive guns up. And then I'm going to have to pull these guys down. Did they split their forces? They did not. But it looks like they're about to hit this wall right here. Hopefully the wall holds long enough that the guns can finish getting built. But no telling as of right now. I don't know what kind of damage they're going to be able to do. I'm going to position my tanks until that's all ready to go. Guns are up and functional, and they are now melting enemy tanks, so that's good. Continue meltonating them all that you can. I don't know what those guys are doing on the left. They're trying to do something sneaky over here. I think they're trying to drill a hole in the wall on that side, and then that tank's breaking off. Weird. All right, well, put some rounds on them. I mean, don't let them live if you don't have to let them live. We're probably going to take a little bit of attrition here, but I can live with it. Looks like they're slightly out of range, just chewing on my wall right there. I hate that.
Always ready.
It's okay. When the wall goes down, they will get eaten up by the defense guns, and it'll be okay. We're sitting on a decent amount of cash right now, so we're probably going to want to think about other buildings that we can put down. I would say let's start with a unit factory real quick. If I can knock these guys off their spot aggressively while holding back the Calyx, that would be helpful. It would also unleash a few more ore fields that should be decently easy to hold back. Pretty soon the Calyx will have cut off their attack path on this side too, so hopefully that'll work out. But let's put down a factory right there, and do I want to double up on factories? Let's not double up on factories. Instead, let's favor expanding out our power grid. I just realized that my power grid is not looking acceptable right now, but this should get us started decently. Well, they did manage to get through the wall on this side because I think I need to move my turrets forward to make them a part of the wall. They do clump, and so it's one of those things that I just kind of screwed up and didn't do properly. You can see them clumped right here on this side, and they're starting to hold back the Calyx. I don't think we're going to have to hold for much longer in order to make this all work. We just got to give it time, though. Are you guys going to return fire right there? Okay, as long as you're making him hurt and feel pain on some level, I'm happy with you, and I'm pleased for you, and I hope you actualize well. But it looks like they're hanging out just outside of our range, which is actually pretty ruthlessly smart if you think about it. I've got loads of crystals, so let me rebuild all these defenses real fast. And just like that, the Calyx have blocked off the enemy's advance towards our property. So this should work out okay. Repair everything you possibly can with the crystals that we have on hand. I would also like that little wall segment right there, if I can manage it to be repaired. That would also be nice. Did they make a gap right there? They didn't make a gap right there, which is good for us. Now that our factory's down, it's time for us to start spitting out units. We may also, I mean, we're pulling in a decent amount of ore. It may be a good idea to continue just working on our economy here. Yep, and the enemy is now being forced to deal with the Calyx, so that's definitely going to slow him down. In a bad case, it may end up allowing him to pool up a little bit, though, which will be slightly horrifying. I'm going to build 2 more harvesters down here just to make sure we've got that coming in, and then once the power grid is squared away, I'm going to try to get myself another rocket. That way we've got more cash coming in for the many, many harvesters that we now have on hand. They are still managing to push through, so that's all right. Some of it will depend on how they do with our defenses, but they are taking a little bit of attrition on their way over here now just from fighting the Calyx, and the Calyx is going to solidify in between their attacks too. It looks like he's upgraded to some kind of mortar launcher. That may end up being a headache later on if he can upgrade their range, but that's life. Things don't always go the way you want them to go. Our economic concerns now taken care of. The numbers are ticking up quite a bit more rapidly at this point, which is exactly where I wanted to be. It looks like the enemy can no longer get out of his base, so I just need to park these guys over here to fight with the little jousts that he's sending out, and I need to start solidifying my battle force so that we can push into his territory and maybe just like give him a black eye for a second. But he does have a lot of turrets. Like, that is a shocking amount of turrets that he's got inside of his base. They are hitting us pretty hard down here, actually. Yeah, don't let them destroy that power pylon. That would be real, real bad if they take down that power pylon. Give me a few more guns, actually. Let's just get crazy with it. We're going to add a lot of guns to that wall because they seem to be pushing this wall much harder than other walls. I do think we're going to need to get to mortar turrets pretty fast. One of their tanks is getting beat to death over here inside the vines, so that's working out okay. I will queue everything else up for repair very quickly. The solar power is now here, so we don't have to worry about power too much at the moment. But I need to put these guys out here, like outside the wall, but not inside his range. There we go. That'll work. We do have a handy-dandy repair all button right there that we can play around with. It's so bright, I'm blind! Yeah, them boys getting ate up now. They're getting ate up now. You ain't gonna make it nowhere. Oh, look at that health drop. He is starting to throw a lot of stuff at us, though. All right, well, let's keep our tanks trucking over here. Did we get those 2 extra battle tanks right there, like our mammoth tanks? That's good. I would also like to have a unit workshop before too long. Now that the solar flare is over, that way I can start upgrading my guys and getting new units. That would be very, very helpful. So let's plop one right there, and then we'll also put in another unit factory right there so that we can keep things chugging and moving along. I think we're basically not going to get hit from that other direction anymore because the vines are doing a number on these guys. So that means we've really only got to pay attention to this gate over here. Give me 3 of them. Give me 3 of them. And we'll wait for the crystals to tick back on in. We are holding right now, but I don't think this guy has to harvest resources the same way that we do. Like, I think he basically just gets to have, like, cheated currency the entire time. At some point, we're going to have to push and pull on him a little bit. Are those mortars or just machine gun turrets? Those are just machine gun turrets. They got a lot right there. We're going to need to be a little bit heavier if we want to punch through that wall. But I also need to increase my unit cap. Yeah, give me command upgrade 1. That'll be helpful. And if I can get the ion cannon, which I can call in periodically, the ion cannon would be very helpful here for knocking just like a fat 40 or 50% out of these walls before we get there so that we can slam into them with maximum aggression. Kill them off instantly. Yeah, good job, boys. Actually, maintain formation over here. Yeah, I want you guys in form on this side. There you go. Let them have it. We should be able to hold them off and just pool up over here so that we can push out. Maybe do a little bit of something to them. Let me get repairs going wherever I can. They're taking a lot of damage right now on their way over to us. They are managing to push through the Calyx, but the Calyx is going to level up over time. So that's going to make things more complicated. Time to see if our new defensive wall does a good job. It did indeed do a good job because all the tanks were firing at the Calyx. Very, very nice. Are we up to 40 unit cap right now? We are indeedly doodly. I think I'd like to unlock artillery because from what I recall in the demos, the artillery has a solid range. I may be able to outshell their walls right here from a range that they can't reach me. If we can set up like frontline defenses, we might be all right. Now, this attack is definitely going to make it to us. This attack is considerably more sturdy than the last one, so we'll kind of see how it plays. We've managed to take down the enemy right there. It may be a wise idea to install... Well, I can't really install a gate now. I installed all guns over there, but I'll think about that later. How long do we have till that upgrade's done? Maybe I can plop a couple artillery over here, and that'll work out. I need to turn my rockets back on so that they're shipping out crystals one more time so that we're making money. Our power grid is holding. It's doing okay-ish right now. Well, actually, they're getting into the thick of it right now. They are losing a big chunk of their battle force on the way in. I may not have to dedicate artillery over here. This may be workable. See if you can start bombing out. Well, they're coming in with another attack. We may have to do like a feint and thrust thing here. You stay right there and just bomb them out as they get closer, and I will take...
Understood.
Give me like 2 more of those, and we'll see how this one performs during this attack. But as you can see, this is a very defensive game. You will have to make offensive feints from time to time in order to make any progress with the enemy, but in general, this is one of those games where you're going to be hanging tight a lot of the time. All right, boys, big push time right at the end of the flare. It's time for us to get on in here and cause some mayhem. However, they have a lot of defenses, so we're going to have to see how this goes. All of my big heavy tanks are getting in here. Let's start wiping out defenses on the walls. Yep, target all of those first. Good stuff. Okay, keep it pushing, fall back to the walls now. Don't fight their attack directly. We got the entire wall knocked in, which is great, but we don't want to spend too much time fighting out here and overextending because they're coming in with another hit squad. We're full up on crystals at the moment. That means with our economy, it's going to be a good idea to get some silos going. I'm going to protect these carefully in the back of my base, like so. That way we can store a few more crystals. And I'm going to start getting another supplementary battle force ready to kind of protect along different angles because they are splitting their forces right now. And I think the AI splitting their forces is really going to be the secret to how we get through here and how we cause maximum damage and mayhem. Let's give it another push. Let's keep it nice and high and tight. And if I can wipe out a couple of their factories, that would be beautiful. Get in there, start wiping out cannons. Kill everything you can. Good stuff. Okay, we're going to need to build a few more things back over here, so let's keep it going. Give me a couple big tanks right there. We're going to plop these guys right down out front. We're going to save a little bit of our oomph for some more guns.
Ready for action. Understood. Yes.
Yep, just keep focusing them down. This will not be our last push, but it was our first push. There you go. Just stay on them. We'll just micromanage a little bit, put a little bit of heat on them, make them feel the pain. We do need to work fast, though, because this guy has no limit to his resources, and we do. That's really the problem that we're going to understandably run into, is that at some point our ore fields are going to run out. And when they do run out, we're going to have big problems on our hands. He's also setting up artillery that can fire at the corner of our wall right there. We're going to need to plug that somehow, I think. He's getting a little cornbally down here. I'm going to see if I can snipe one of these factories real quick before he recovers.
You got it. Yes.
It appears to me as though the answer is going to be no right there.
Affirmative.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay. Well, let's bring the rest of the tanks up here, and I think we're just going to have to pool for a little bit. All right, with an upgraded task force of Rangers, I'm going to see what I can snipe here, but no guarantees. They got to move fast because the next wave is a-coming. We're just going all out for that right there. That's all that we want. If we can wipe out one of those, that means a big chunk of his forces are now no longer harassing us. We do need to wipe out as many of these mortar turrets as we can because I intend to kind of zerg this guy aggressively with other forces. There we go. Just fight whatever you can fight right now. Just cause damage, cause mayhem. I don't care what you shoot. I don't care how you do it. Just kill something. Good job. All right, so we knocked out one of his spawners. So we've got a lot less to digest now. And in fact, I think we're actually not in a terrible position to make a push for his hub. He's at max level right now, and he hasn't really showed me anything that has me paranoid or worried about what he's going to be able to do long term. So let's just continue spitting out units. and making this thing happen because our ore fields are running out right now. Once the ore fields run out, that's when this is going to get real bad. Luckily, it looks like he's actually not dedicating any right side forces anymore, which means I should be able to breeze in and just tap this thing in between his waves now with fast, high-speed units. Because the ones he's sending to the left side, they're just getting eaten alive by tentacles right now. I do wish there was a few more details to the tentacles. Like, how cool would it be? So you may have noticed that it leaves the shell of a tank when these things die for a little while. It'd be really cool if the tentacles could pick that up and there was some kind of internal container for the Calyx where, like, you could see the husks being passed around in between the tentacles for the rest of the game. It'd probably have horrible effects on their performance, but it would look really cool. Like, it'd be rad as hell. I sort of have bad news down here. The Calyx is able to touch my walls now, which means the machine guns are not effective anymore. We need to, like, pinch this turd, and we need to pinch it, like, now, I think. I think that's kind of where we're at. So give me, like, 2 more of those guys, and then we'll just, like, send it with what we have on hand, I think. And this is really kind of how the strategy of the game gets interesting, because if you can figure out the pipelines that the AI faction uses, you can really just let the Calyx have it, and the Calyx will sort of become your bastion that holds off the enemy and takes care of business on that front. Like, I very much actually kind of like that strategic consideration. Ooh, if they destroy that tentacle right there, they're going to break through, and I just noticed it. So when the tentacles die, everything connected to it dies too, which means that wall won't be there anymore. It'll kind of be a hard reset for the campaign, but it looks like it's growing pretty fast. Where's their next attack coming from? Over there. All right, so we're going to set up over here with our battle force, and we're going to try to take down their hub, because they lose the game if we can manage to hit the hub. They almost had a little breakthrough right there, but they're not turning their cannons on my defenses. They're continuing to shoot at the Calyx backwards as they're running away from it. Okay, so where are their units at right now? Run it. Go.
Understood.
Right in the back door. We're going to stay nice and high and tight, and we're going to try to get this done before this dude is all up inside of my booty cheeks.
Understood.
Hit that thing. Hit it and hit it hard. And we'll see if it's good enough. We may be okay.
Ready to serve?
Hey, we got him.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we still need to weed out all these defenses, which is just the way that it goes. And since they don't target the turrets first, they target random walls and stuff, I'm going to have to, like, micromanage and fix this up for a second to make sure we're killing the right things. So let me kill everything real fast. And then we'll start shifting our focus to the Calyx in just a moment. But once all these guns are gone, I can run my power grid this way, and we can get access to new ore fields that'll hopefully hold us until we can start running hits on the actual Calyx itself. But they don't have anything that produces units anymore. They're like dunzo. Let's wipe out the remainder of these defenses down here and just get those swept.
You got it.
Okay, those are done. We don't need to worry about the walls down there. I don't think there's like an engineer unit that allows me to convert their stuff, but like, it'd be nice. Kill everything we possibly can, by the way. My harvesters have now come to a full stop. They shouldn't. They should all go down here and get that stuff. And then I will demolish that, and I'll demolish that, and then I will rebuild the power grid real quick. God, these solar flares, dude. These solar flares really being a headache right now. Give me another just docking bay right there and right there. I think that'll do for right now. It's not a perfect solution, but I'm going to have to bring this battle force down this way to help hold this wall, I think, because they're just getting a little bit closer than I feel comfortable for. We also have a good opportunity to expand out what we're trying to do, but I need to get isotopes first before that's actually going to be helpful. Man, the map is positively crawling now. I'm going to leave their guns right there just because it's making my life easier not having to cover these 2 points. I think that's definitely what I'm going to do for the moment. Let me run the power grid up that way too so that it's already pre-cooked. Yeah, they're definitely taking the wall right now, so we got that done just in the nick of time, dude. I don't know who the Nicholas was that was always showing up exactly at the right time to fix problems, but that's what we got going on right now. You guys spread out like so and help the walls with what it is that they're doing. Oh, they're not even firing. Okay, so you guys go out here then. We're probably going to get stomped a little bit by enemy fire, but that's kind of the way that it goes. We got to push this thing back real quick. Is it working? I think it's working. Okay, everybody position up so that you're working in conjunction with the guns. We're going to lose another ranger right there. So let's bake up another little force of machine gunners and maybe some artillery, actually. Let's get like 6 more units that we can send down this way. And I think some artillery bombing might help with holding this over here. And this is going to be our pool point. They're not pushing that hard from this direction, so I think we should be in okay shape there. Crystals are holding out. Money's looking pretty good, but we need the isotopes that are underneath these guys over here before we're going to be able to do too much. The good news is these guys aren't nearly as dangerous as the pink one is, and these guys trapped in the pink one so that we haven't had to deal with them yet. The pink one fires projectiles, and their range and their damage gets higher and higher and higher the higher level he is. And so I'm glad that the pink kind of got stalled out. That's really good for us. Let's also get some repair alls running real fast, just so the walls are in tip-top.
Yes.
I'm going to send both these artilleries down here to help out with that wall right there. And then we're going to start pooling our forces over here for a push out of our base. And that's where this game is kind of like interesting. It's different from a lot of other real-time strategy games. The addition of the hostile AI does make it play a bit more standardized with other RTS games, but it's very Creeper World inspired. Like, if you like Creeper World, I can virtually guarantee that you're probably going to like this game too. I'm going to load up on 3 more artilleries, and those 3 artilleries are just going to help the machine guns over here. That's going to be their entire job, is just to be lined up behind the wall, bombing out this entire territory. And once I've got that figured out, I think that's when we're going to start just printing out units. I need to continue sweeping this area so that I can lay claim to all of these fields. We've got these defenses over here. I don't think we need to worry about these guys shooting at the ore field, I don't think. Yeah, they shouldn't shoot at the ore field. So oh, they got isotopes over there. Damn. Okay, so I should probably go get the isotopes from over there then. That would probably be what a smart human would do. You guys all come over here. I keep doing it the wrong direction. And you guys just sit over here and bomb out the enemy for a minute. If I find that we're at like a decent stasis, let's just print off some of the easy units over here. And then because we have enough money, I'm going to put my shipping on inactive so that every last scrap of these last minerals over here are coming to us. There we go. Bomb it out, baby. Bomb it out hard. There was no ore here a second ago, was there? Does it regrow like Tiberium does? That's actually a huge boon from the developers that I did not expect. I figured we had to get it done inside of a time period that allowed the task to be concluded. Let's send this little battle force up here, and I'm going to see if I can at least get them to clear out this little turret hive right here so that I can start building on this side, because we do need the income and we do need the economy right now. All right, boys, forward unto victory. Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice that I'm willing to make. Kill the mortar first. It's doing splash damage. There you go. And if this group right here can actually kill off both of these turret walls, that'd be good. Because I need access to isotopes like yesterday. I'm actually way behind on my tech tree. I've been getting smoked on higher difficulty. You guys bring it on in. Yup, you're going to shoot at the mortar first. You're going to get the machine gun second. And any of you that survive are actually just going to go back and join the defensive line. I swear to God, dude, it is so washed out right now with these constant solar flares. They're getting more common, too. I think he needs to take over more ground before he can level again, though. So the fact that he's being held to a stalemate on all sides is actually kind of good for us. And now we've got our isotope mine now. That's going to allow us to get, like, higher tier units, like the units that are clacked out with, like, the prestige skins and stuff. And so hopefully that works out okay. I could probably get a repair boat or something down here too. Don't I have, what's it going to cost me to get a repair tank? Yeah, unlock the Solace real quick while we're sitting on top of a lot of stuff. Start shipping one more time so that I have gold coming in. That would also be very, very nice. And you guys have a simple job. It's called come join this core down here because we need to start advancing to make a push once we've got isotopes going. So the Solace is now unlocked. Not a Ranger. I want a Solace. The Solace will heal our other units so that we don't have all these scuffed units down here that just aren't in good shape. I'd like to stop losing units right now because considering we have a limited supply of stuff we can do here on the map, it worries me. But let's get crystals going real fast on that side. And with the 48 isotopes that I have for right now, I actually need to get some money flowing. Okay, we'll get both rockets all nice and ready to go, and we'll figure it out from there. Where are my Solaces at, by the way? How long are those taking? We got like a couple of them over here. Oh, we're unit capped. Okay, Solace, get down here and join the rest of the battle force and heal whoever you can. But we're now holding off the Calyx all right. Like, we're moving along. There's no way I'm going to finish this in an hour. It just took me too long to deal with this guy over here. I think we can probably get away with another rocket, too, because we're going to get a little bit gold intensive out here, so another rocket will probably help out. The good news is I was able to reappropriate their entire defensive wall just to protect my property. Thank you, hostile AI. I appreciate you. You're kind of dumb, but you're doing a great job out here. Just a fantastic job. Let's go ahead and rearrange these guys like so. What we really don't want to have happen is we don't want these guys to get trapped down here and encircled, because that's when it's going to start to fall apart and get a little bit ugly. However, with my mortar, if I can get him to fire at the central flower right there, we can kill a lot of this, and this is going to require a little bit of micro if we want to be successful at it. The other buildings that I'd like to have, I would like to have the mining workshop. That way we mine more effectively. I would like to have the orbital workshop, and so I'm going to build that too, because methinks we're going to need a little bit of an assist here if we want this to work out. But we've got our push going. A few more solar panels, because I don't know if you noticed, but our little Duracell battery right now is not going on and on and on. And if the defensive grid goes down, that's going to be real bad for us. It should pop back up. Yeah, there it goes. The defensive grid controls all of our turrets. If that goes down, that could actually be a wipe for us. Let's keep it pushing down here. I'm going to increase my unit cap one more time before I go any further, but I would like to have some supplementary units that can kind of like light this stuff on fire and put dots on it and kind of cause a little bit of mayhem for the enemy if I can manage it. Move my artillery forward and let's get that node right there. That's the thing that's anchoring this entire area and causing these vines to regrow, and so I would like that to die if we can make that happen. Now, we do have some fresh upgrades inside of here we can play around with. I could upgrade my meteors for more damage. We could unlock the Zeus cannon, which sounds sick as hell. I kind of want a Zeus cannon. Let's Zeus it up. What else do we have over here? In the defensive workshop, I can upgrade my machine gun turrets. That feels like a really smart idea right now. As we're starting to abandon the walls, I need to know that my defensive grid is not going to crumble on me the second I leave with my main battle force. We don't need to worry about it too much on this southern angle, but let's keep them trucking forward, and it's going to be a very slow crawl to the south to try to hit that node right there, and we are going to get enveloped. So I may try to erect a defensive wall right there that's covered with machine gun turrets. I may try to do the same thing on this side as well. It feels smart. Let's creep and crawl our way forward with a few more machine guns. This may be successful. This may be a terrible idea. If all of you guys could fire on that route right there, I would appreciate you tremendously. That route right there is the one that's the problem. Like, if you kill that, I'm pretty sure a lot of this is going to fall over. But machine guns, I appreciate your sacrifice. Though you just be automated guns, limited in brain power, I still appreciate you. Let's increase our unit cap real quick, and then I just need to let crystals pool for a little while. I'm only exporting one thing right now, but I sent a couple of my harvesters over to this side to start fleshing out our harvesting over there while this stuff respawns. And since we're not using these guys back here, now that I've got the defensive grid in, I'm going to scooch them forward. We're going to research new turrets fairly shortly, but for the moment, I think we just need to let our resources pile up a little bit more. We got a little bit of a traffic jam over here, but that's okay. I'd rather have a traffic jam than have no harvesting happening at all. With them a little bit further forward, they should be able to help the turrets out with some of this gun business. And I think we're going to have to go to the defensive place, and we're going to have to get mortar turrets real quick. Fire turrets may also be helpful. I would also be down for that. Is this guy still leveling? Oh, he is. Okay, so he doesn't have to take more territory. He's just getting more stronger. Let's move this entire grid of guys down this way. And now that we have mortar turrets, I'm just going to sprinkle 1 or 2 in on various walls to help out with the alien menace so that I can move troops forward. I don't know how many mortars are going to do it, but we'll get like a couple. We also haven't built any of those Zeuses yet. What's a Zeus going to set me back? Get me a big beefy Zeus down in here. That's what I want. I want a Zeus up in this battle force. I want to put the Zeus on the loose. I am curious to see what the Zeus does.
Always ready.
It looks like it fires a death ray, is what it looks like to me, like an instant annihilation ray. It's knocking out a chunk every single time that it does that. So yeah, a few more of those and we might be in decent shape.
For action.
Let's keep them moving forward. Come on, everybody. Now's the time where we see if we can survive without our artillery focused on the defense. No guarantees, but hey, you don't know until you try.
Understood.
Keep this entire corps moving down central lane. If you guys can keep them pushed back over there, which it looks like you are, I can probably squeeze in. Well, I'm going to have to upgrade the power grid first. Did I buy the power grid upgrade? I did not. Let's buy the power grade upgrade real fast, just because it may be cheaper than stamping out more of my little solar panels, I think. But we're going to keep it moving down this way. I got a few more units that are coming to join the offense down here, and they're going to take up that flank right there just to make sure that doesn't push anywhere. But it looks like the defenses are holding okay. So with the solar panel upgrade done, we're looking a little better, but I think I'm still just going to have to stamp out more panels. Sort of is. Oh, no. I'm going to leave that there for all the people in the audience with OCD. That one's for you, baby. That one's for you. Enjoy looking at that for the rest of the run. I don't have time to fix it. We're going to need a couple of turrets over here for sure. Like, absolutely for surely. We're going to need some turrets right there to hold that. And then we're probably going to need mortars, too, just to shore that up. And then I'll probably wall it off as well. Like so, I think. Oh, they already destroyed my walls. What a bunch of D-bags, bro. How dare you? Machine guns. Get to the machine gunning. Yeah, push them back. Make them feel the meaning of fear. And then we'll just put in a wall right there. If you're wondering what that is right there, that's a buff. You can collect that on your playthrough if you want by connecting your power grid to it. If you do it, it's going to increase the speed at which these guys mine. There's also one that gives you 100 power for your power grid. I think there's another one that generates isotopes or something. There's one that makes all of your guys regenerate. I'm having trouble remembering all the ones that I've seen this entire time. And we're just going to leave that to its own devices. We're going to push this way. I think the Zeus is unleashing the juice pretty good right now. I don't know if my healers are going to be able to keep up with the damage that's going out from the tentacles, but it looks like it's going okay. Can I get the orbital death ray, please? Yeah, let me get my orbital death ray. I'm really, really excited about death from orbit. It's one of those things I feel incredibly passionately about. This over here, though, is going to be a little bit more of a mess. So we need to drop this guy, and we need to drop this guy right after, and maybe make a left-hand push right there before he fortifies in order to wipe them out. Orbital laser's unlocked. It's going to cost me 200 bucks and 40 isotopes. I'm cool with it. Let him have it. Orbital laser!
Ready to serve.
Knock, knock, fool. We're coming for that plant-like ass. We're going to be up in there like a bite. Healers seem to be doing a really good job holding things down right now, so I'm happy for that. Make the big push. Make the big push. Get him. And down he goes. And as you can see, the entire realm is rescued. And so now I think we need to make an aggressive push for this guy before he snowballs, because he has room now that he can move into, which is like a problem for us. You guys come down here, get into formation, keep the heals flowing. And now we see if the defensive line holds. It may or it may not.
Understood.
If it doth not, that's super bad.
You got it.
We are losing units.
Yes.
Kill the turret first.
Affirmative.
Kill that.
Understood.
Kill that.
Yes. You got it.
Okay, we may need to repopulate a little bit. We may need to get a few more guns up in here. The push is not going as well as I had hoped, but we kind of had to capitalize on time right there. Otherwise, it was not going to work out for us. They are taking over the walls at the moment. We could probably get a few more mortars in there to help out, maybe.
Always ready.
Yeah, just get up in here and finish him off real fast. I think I'm going to lose this entire force, but we will have at least taken down 2 of the Calyxes in the process. There we go. 2 are down, and now they're trapped in a corner. This was unfortunately a suicide mission for our valiant troops. Start pulling more people towards the front line. Give me everything you can give me. We're going to rebuild, and we're going to make a final push towards the other Calyx, which may be a little bit more difficult. It may prove to be a tiny bit more volatile. These guys are actually holding down here. I think if we can link up with them, we may be able to rescue them. The sheer power of the healers is holding them tight right now. I was expecting them to fold. So if I can make that same push that I did before, link up with them, the final push should be no problem, I don't think. I'm still trying to get my units together right now for another push. I've got my artillery all nice and fielded, and I think the only thing we're missing now is maybe just a few more Vanguard troops. I really didn't unlock everything on this run. You've got a Goliath, which is like a one-man army. That's what it describes it as. It's basically one of these double-barreled tanks mixed with 2 of these little tanks. Think about this tank if it had 2 of the little machine gun tanks attached to it. And it's pretty rad. Like, it's not a bad little vessel. All right, boys, this is it. We're rendezvousing with the main battle force. So this is the time for our big push operation. This is like our own robotic Saving Private Ryan. We got to get in here and we got to save Matt Damon, all right? That's the entire goal of this mission is Operation Save Matt Damon so that he can cry and go to a grave later on in the movie and be like, was it worth it? Like, we've got to do that. There's just no way around it. Now, there's a strong possibility that if this push doesn't work, they are going to overtake my base. So we will have to keep that nice and frosty. We are taking a little bit more attrition than I wanted to, and we are doing this in the middle of a solar flare, which means I get to do this without the usage of my retinas, which kind of sucks. But I suppose that's life. Mortars seem to be holding things back, like sort of, kinda. I think we're going to need another healer. I might just have them hold right there until we have another healer. Oh no, we're losing them! They couldn't hold any longer. Oh, salutes up in the air, boys. You did the best that you could. I'm proud of you. You tried. I promise that whatever the lawn leaves left of you will be sent back to Earth, hopefully to your family. And I hope that your family perpetrates a tide of violence against everything landscaping related for the rest of its existence. I don't know what else to do for you. All right, boys, time to kill some creepy crawlies. Let's see if we make it. I'm just going to put it on max speed. We're going to push, and we're going to hope for the best. We did manage to clear out one of the vines right there, which is good. However, it is repopulating just exceptionally rapidly. I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, no, they broke through the back! Oh, I think that's GG's, dude. That's my entire economy gone. It finally folded back there. We got to figure out something to do. I mean, I suppose I can just try to orbital laser that thing and hope that it works. I don't know what our next best option is for right now. It's regrowing so fast that we just can't seem to knock it down. Like, level 10, actually kind of crazy, in my opinion. Our power grid's about to go down, too. My entire power grid's over there. Oh, no, dude. Okay, so get me a little bit more power. Just you know, poco mas more power. And then over here, we're going to have to retrofit the hell out of the defenses if it's going to hold on this side. And we may have to do with a shoestring budget for a little bit. Really, my main problem is that my battle force has gotten so large that I can't even really get them into position to start clearing. I think that's really what we've run into here. It looks like they're sort of holding over here, like they're doing their best. Hopefully it works. I don't know. If we get any of the major nodes over there, I think we're going to have a major headache on our hands. Push right now. Now's the time to push. There's a gap. There's a gap. There's a gap. Go. This may be our only opportunity to move up. I'm a little bit worried about that healer right there. I have a distinctive feeling that if he goes down, this whole thing's going to fold. so like we simply have to protect him. Artillery's doing everything that it can on the backside, but we are going to start getting encircled. We're making our push. Give me a shot right there.
Ready for action.
There we go. Go, 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 go. Push hard, boys. Push hard. Dig deep. Dig deep. Deeply digging. Digging so deeply. Man, I'm tense right now. For a game that's as slow and as creeping as it is, this is kind of intense right now because this is it, dude. If we don't make this work, we lose. Like, this is our last-ditch effort. This is like our Rogue One moment to end the war.
Ready for action.
Oh, we got the node right there. We got the node right there. Okay. Okay. Oh, if we can cut that right there, it'll take all the pressure off our base, too. That would be beautiful. But let's stay eye on the prize for the second. Give me another death laser. Shoot it right there.
Always ready. Understood.
Kill that thing. There you go. There you go. There you go. Oh, I may have overdid it. I may have overdid it. I may have pushed too hard. Oh, we lost the Zeus. Oh, no. The Zeus is the only thing that makes this work.
Yes.
Just start putting damage on the main node. Put it on there and hold. We need to creep a little closer.
Yes.
Kill that.
Understood.
If you can make the shot, you need to shoot the node. Oh, this is about to be heartbreaking. I could tell.
Yes. Affirmative.
Just keep firing the orbital laser. Oh, Zeus, if you can do this. If you could do this, Zeus, that's all I need from you is a few more shots, man. Just a few more.
Understood.
Oh, that's it. Once the healers went down, it was all over. Oh, dude, we were so close, man. I don't think with our economy how it is, I can, like, pull it back and repool again before it's too late. Okay, well, let's, like, fold it back real fast, because I think it's probably going to be a death spiral from there, and it's going to be long. So the campaign mode is going to be divided up into a planet that you can look around on. As you do these missions, they're kind of like StarCraft 2-y, where each mission will have a number of sub-objectives and main objectives that you do to get research points. As you get those research points, you can come to the research menu, which has various tiers. You creep and crawl your way down them, unlocking the things that you think will be good. I do think that this needs a respec. Like, I don't know if you can actually unspec these things once you click them on in, so I would recommend adding a respec to it just in case players pigeonhole themselves with technology that can't get through certain missions, and they can repivot into a strategy that works. Other than that, the game doesn't have a super strong narrative, there's no voice dialogue or anything else like that. Fairly dystopian fare, but I do think that this game targets a niche that's pretty enjoyable if you like tower defense-y RTSs, I guess, about holding points and fighting for as long as you possibly can. Sorry about the disappointing loss there at the end. We probably could have held and maybe regrouped a little bit more. Other than that, though, I think the game does have some very nice quality of life. So, for example, if you have harvesters and they are intermingled with all of your combat forces, if you select any group with the rubber band box, it only grabs the combat units, which is very, very nice. You can double click on stuff. All the standard fare RTS stuff is here. The game is not done yet, though. It's not finished. On the game's actual Steam forum, it seems like the developers are really enthused to add more parts of the campaign. Right now, you've only got the first part of the campaign, but it looks like they're planning on adding more units, more stuff, more things for you to play around with, along with the skirmishes and the challenges that are already inside of the game. I would say that if this game bites you, it's got, the challenges over here alone will probably take you a while to get through. The skirmishes, they're proceduralized with seeds, and so the maps are the same every time, but where stuff is different. You start in different corners, and so the game does seem to have a lot of replayability for like a first patch early access game, but I like it very much. I think it's unique in the world of RTS. It's kind of picking up the pieces of where Creeper World left off, but also it's a little more aggressive than Creeper World, in my opinion. It's also got a very cool visual style with like the Thing-style monster taking over the map, the satisfaction of a power wash game when you wipe it out and like an entire section of the map clears out. I like it. I think it's pretty cool and unique. I'll see y'all later. Thank you for stopping on in. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you you don't have to. I'll see y'all tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet, but for right now, that's all I got. It's Calyx. Bye, folks.